Teenager charged over crime spree. Teenager dies following collision, drunk and driver. Teenager bowed in arson inquiry. Teenager arrested over flat arson. CS spray used on teenager in incident in a shopping centre in Londonderry. CS spray recommended for dealing with teenage problems in the future. Bail for cocaine arrested teenager. Teenage girl charged over death. Yeah, so obviously the view people get of teenagers in society today is not very positive at all. But what we have to understand, and what people don't understand, is that this is just a complete minority, and the rest of us all get shaded in the same colour. It's really completely unfair. The minority are a horrible minority, I have to say that. But the rest of us, I really hate the fact that, you know, people see us all the same. Like an old woman who would quite happily cross the road just to avoid walking past me. It gets on my nerves, basically, and I just don't like it. I think it's completely unfair. Nothing more to say about it, really. I know I shouldn't really say anything more on it, but text writing will get on my nerves. I will continue to complain about it because I like moaning because I'm British. Yeah, Carla, the fact that you said that it gets in the way of your essay writing is disgraceful, really. Carla, the history of bank holidays. I looked them up. Whitsun, which is the last Monday in May, it isn't actually that day. It used to move around, but they've made it permanently that day now. It comes from a Christian holiday, something to do with the spirit of Jesus coming back down to earth after Easter. The bank holiday we have in August, I couldn't actually find an origin for it. I believe it's just that people can have a day off in the summer. They're called bank holidays because the banks close on that day and financial transactions are deferred until the next day. That's pretty much it. People tend to think that Good Friday and Christmas Day are bank holidays when in fact they're not. They're just national holidays. The other bank holidays I think are quite self-explanatory. I'm not quite sure what exactly you didn't understand about bank holidays, but there you go, a brief history. You said about The Trick of It by Michael Frayn. I'm not sure if you're aware that the trick of it is just a general expression. It just kind of says when you say you've got the trick of it, or there's a trick to it, it just kind of means that there's a unique technique that often takes practicing to perfect a specific skill. Yeah, there's nothing much more to say about that. Adam, I'm quite surprised that you didn't pick up in Carla's last video that she said something along the lines that she was a socialist. I can't believe you didn't bring that up. Is she a socialist? Are you a socialist, Carl? How come we didn't know this? Did we know this? I'm not sure. How do you know that we won't care what it means or what it translates to in Spanish? You haven't asked us, you just assumed. You shouldn't assume. But I'll tell you something I don't care about, and that's Shakespeare. Couldn't give a crap about it, personally. But that's just me. Sleeping with friends, no, wouldn't do it. The only difference between sexes is that if it's a guy, he's on the floor. If it's a girl, I'm on the floor. She gets the bed. But yeah, it just doesn't seem right. I suppose that's the traditionalist coming out of me again. I wouldn't do it personally, my personal opinion. Bye. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. Don't really have enough time for one video. I try to cut them down. I just can't seem to find things to take out. My videos are mostly very boring, but I can't find things in them that I don't want to say. So I'm going to actually be kind of crafty this week and maybe upload 2 videos. Haven't decided yet.